I'm live. You know, you find stuff like this, you get so excited, you just can't. I'm so excited, right? I mean, listen to the tone of my voice. You can tell something's going on. Okay, that's about enough of that. Yeah, I just wanted to double check everything. Okay, 3 watching now. Yeah, I just wanted to. Okay, I guess I got the sound. And now this is the first map. I ended up here using Bing Maps. I'm not really sure how that happened, but Google Earth, it doesn't show it as well. So when you go to, what do we call it? I call it the fish. And you get into this little corner. What's this? Not you guys. I'm just kind of worried because I don't have a lot of good luck with not getting cut off sometimes. So I got to keep my eye on that OBS. And doing so is going to stop me from being able to see the chats, where there's no chats yet. So we're good to there. Now let's just zoom back in here. And I got to get a new mouse. Okay, so when you zoom in here and you... okay, I gotta go show you this. Now, let me go back in time a little bit. There's so many things that I've been seeing, you know, I don't know how far back I can go. That's actually, well, this is my last video, right? Whoops, I don't want to do that. I want to just click on the, oh, that's a, what is this? That's a YouTube video. So, this is the last video I really did. And, you know, it's just getting crazier and crazier. Now, this is inside the USA. And so is this. This is up in, like, I forgot where, but the links in was this Atlantis. You can go look at it yourself. This is a big, huge area up. Oh, I forgot. So, actually, a viewer turned me onto this. And I thought this was a little bit too symmetrical. But then I went and started looking at what's called mind tailings after watching that Mind Earth set of videos. And then I went back over here to the Manhattan Plateau near the Richat. And I was looking at these. So I was like back in Richat looking at these patterns that are on the top of that plateau. I mean, it's an obvious thing now, right? We're no longer like what's the word I'm looking for? Oh God. It's not that early in the morning, I have to be honest. Let me just keep on with the presentation. Theorizing is the word I'm talking about. I wanted to say hypotheticalizing, but that doesn't turn into a word. Theorizing, that when there's no more theorizing, this is a real thing. Hundreds and thousands of years. Okay, thank you, speaker, for telling me. I hate that speaker. Okay, so I started looking at these roads. Now this is 180 feet, so some of them are quite wide. This one has a very interesting decoration, and it's not just this part. There's several arcs, and they have this little connection straight part that makes it look like one of those wallpapers growing up as a kid. And this is I at first thought that was a canal going through a plateau, but I think that's more of a road or a wall Here's another wall that goes underneath the sand dunes up in the same area that I've been showing you. And I've been following these roads, and this one's 301 miles long. Hi, Fox Coit. Happy to see you live too. We're all alive. Now, look at this little tiny fish here. You can see this is the top of Mauritania. So when we look at the map, yeah, there we are here. And let's just poke it north, which it already is north. Well, there you go. You see a little tiny fish inside there. So that's the big fish. And then there's a little tiny fish. And we're around this area. In fact, the place that I started was right over here. Right there. That's the thumbnail. This place outside of the country is where we're looking. And this was incredible. This is my thumbnail. This is what freaked me out today. What freaked you out today, Fox Coit? You can look at this under an angle, but I'm going to show you some better maps because this is quite hard to see. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see the cut lines. It's just hard to see what we're looking at. What are those stones? The problem is Google Earth can do this, but none of the other places can. Let's take a look at the original picture I saw, which is Bing. And Bing shocked me. I was in shock. I love the color of Bing. I love the color of Bing. If I can make it a little bigger and get that out of there so we can... No. That's not what... That's the opposite of what I want to do. Let's try it this way. No? If I could just move the thing so we can look at the whole thing. I wish we could get rid of this. Get rid of this. I don't like Bing. Nobody likes Bing. It's like just this little irritant. Okay. No, I just started. I just got to the main one. I went through the pictures in... Okay, let me finish these. Going back, we talked about ancient roads underneath the sand dunes, canals, cuts, mine tailings, the USA... And that was my previous video. That's the circuit board that some mining project left. But when you move into the new material, you see these ancient roads up here. Oops, sorry. I'm going to find a... Okay, so I had to turn off my computer to get this thing connected. This is something I want to show you as well. But let's keep going with these pictures here. Just ancient walls or roads that are underneath thousands of feet of sand. This area here, this is... the little fish at the north end, and that's a 301 kilometer road that I followed. You can go in there yourself. It's kind of hard with that. There's Chega. That's Mauritania. Sorry, this is Mali. This is Mali. The fish is Mali. So Mali is here. This is Mauritania, and then out here is Algeria. So we have three countries here. And there's the Algeria border in Chega. So this is Mauritania. I found a 44 kilometer road going that way. It's like it could be one of these canals. This one, I say when you see lines going directly perpendicular away from the river, that they're probably manufactured canals or lines. I don't know what's going on there, but one thing I did discover, and I want to show you, that's here. I'll show you in Google Earth in a minute, but let's look at the images, is that these weird platforms were like plugs of some sort. I don't know what you want to call them. Mainstream geology, and there's another one outside of it. This big huge circle, if it is a crater, which I don't think it necessarily is, but it kind of looks like it might have been a crater or some type of a hit, like even what do you call it, the Carolina Bays. But then you've got all this work done inside it, and you've got these stages that have been... Thank you, speaker. Thank you, speaker, for telling me that. I don't understand why my speaker suddenly started doing this. Just shut her down. I should shut it off, but I need to hear it. Washed out. You know, when you see something like that, nowadays, after watching that Mined Earth, I feel like it's been mined out. But whatever's going on here, we can look at it right now. Let me finish the picture. This is one of them. Okay, that's one of the things I'm talking about. This is outside of the thing. It's a little platform or plateau, but it's so out of place. And now this is what we're looking at. Can you imagine the speaker talking like that? Like, speakers are stupid. You're not supposed to create your own sounds. You're supposed to. So, yeah, these little plugs here. Let me go north, and then we'll back out and see where we are. This is. Actually, it looks like a bomb hit. You know, something just exploded here coming from this direction. And when I backed out, I saw this circle. Where is it? Is it that thing? It's not. Can you imagine what is going on with that speaker? I have no idea. Though it's over here. So here it is here, and this thing. Okay, so where are we in the world? This is kind of far out there. This is in Libya, and we're zooming in here. I was looking at this area. Now I got lost. It's right there. And there's these things, but there's a couple outside as well, like this one. That one, I mean, it just doesn't have any answer. And this has been worked so hard. Now when I see this, I just say it's been worked because of what I'm about to show you. And then the one outside of it, I thought that was quite interesting. The one outside of it seems to be a little... So, yes, that's the thing. What event created this ring? Whatever event created this ring means that what's inside of it is a later event. These things are later events. They're going right over the edge right there. That's going right over the lip or the rim of the so-called crater. Yeah, well, there are ancient texts that state that the Egyptians what? State that the Egyptians... No, you're fine, Foxquate. You didn't have any problem with your English. Your English is great. I understand exactly what you're saying. So these look like little volcanoes, right? But I never saw volcanoes that have more of a round top. And honestly, they look at that one. That one's not really from a volcano. That looks like it's been twisted. And then this thing, I don't know what that is. So the outer rim is the first event, right? You would assume. You don't think that this is going to form, this big rim, whatever created that rim is going to form. Thank you, speaker. I don't know what to do because I don't want to turn my speaker off, but I don't need her to keep announcing that, especially during my live stream. It's like, be quiet. Okay, so I'm going to turn her off. And then hopefully later I'll turn her back on when I need to confirm that there's some sound there. Okay, I'm getting a few. Would use the sand to find gold and silver. They call electrum 66 and gold 33% silver. Yeah, at this point I'm with what I saw in Peru from that one video. I saw a lot of stuff in Peru I'd never seen before. And now I'm really convinced that it was all about the gold. Okay, so this was the one thing that I was looking at last night, and I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. Is it a line? Is it a road? What's going on down here? What's going on over here? There's a bunch of these. That wasn't the one that was outside that I showed before. The one that was outside that I showed before was over here on the exact opposite side. I mean, come on. What are these? Wait, where is that? That's perfectly... Okay, this is north here, so forget north. What is wrong with this? There we go. Okay, so that's north. And we've got one over here. And then we've got one that appears to be right on the other side of it. Right, not exactly the other side, but right there. So these things, what are they called? Nubs. I call them a nub from my working definition. It's like these nub plateau nubs more than the alongside the line nub. But you've got a bunch inside this circle. You've got one on one side, one on the other. And a lot of other crazy stuff going on, you know. I just assumed that was mining, and that's where I got that picture, I think, of that river. I don't know anymore. You know, there's just so much to see. Now, let's get out of here. I'm going to even close that down. You can go and look at it yourself if you want. You can go there. You know what? Something went weird yesterday. I put up about 5 different pictures, and they were all coming up the same. So I just deleted it and tried to put the one that was correct. And I was using satellites.pro because satellites.pro has a better better views. I mean, the problem is you can't rotate it like I can do in Google Earth like that and look at it in different perspectives. So this place this is the thumbnail. This is the main deal right here. This is here. This thing is crazy because of all that work. This parallel lines got me. And I didn't measure them yet. I can go measure them right now. And then this stuff over here was just like Tibesti. And then, of course, we've got the... we have some problems with the mapping, right? So I started using different maps. Let's just zoom out since nobody knows where we are. That plateau in the middle of nowhere, really. I know how to get there now. You just have to turn it to north, and then it's actually located right here, and it's following this structure. And you've got these two sand dunes, but this one and this one, there's a triangle that I follow to get to this dot. And now you're there. So then when we zoom into it, let's do some measuring first. This one seems to have no problem with the photo, what do you call it? The thing that it makes lines in these things. This one's, there's no lines here, but this Algeria map, that one's clear, and the Bing map, clear. Where's the line? I got lost. There was a line that was separating it from this over here. Maybe, let me go north, and we'll measure this. So where was the first part? Okay, I guess I was looking here. Yeah, right there. This is the first part. This is where I and look at that arc that goes right through it. And there's a parallel one. You know, one of my Reddit communicators said it's like a spirograph. Obviously not here, but some of the other stuff I can agree with that. Now let's measure it. So from here to this side here is overall just 2 kilometers. It's not a lot of area. Not really. So the part that I put in the thumbnail is less than 1 kilometer. Pretty small area. It certainly is worked though, isn't it? Yeah, I was just measuring it. Now I think I answered that question. So this is a river here. Where's that river? Not really a river. I thought I had a river over here, but what I do think is that it was flooded and that was washed away. So let's go over to the higher quality picture and look at it again right here. Starting over here, this is the thumbnail. I think this is just absolutely crazy, right? It's very similar to the rocks I was looking at in Boulder. Well, not Boulder. These are in the United States, but I'm not sure exactly where. I forgot. You have to follow the link. Where is it? Here. Let's just click it and take a look. Sorry, wasn't watching. Yeah, so this thing you have to be on or it'll never get there. So this out here, this is the park located in, forgot where, and of course I don't have its, oh, okay, we got it, right? That's Colorado? No, that's Utah. That's Canyonlands National Park in Utah. Okay, now let's go back to what I was showing you. Bing Maps. Mount Diablo. Now you got me thinking. Let's go check Mount Diablo. Let's look at this first. And this I cannot rotate. It has to stay north, right? There's no rotation. This is Bing. And it's kind of hard to believe there's no rotation. So I'm convinced this is like a city right here. This is an ancient city. I mean, it's a stone city, but all this work, either there was one big huge machine or it was millions of people, you know, doing all that different work. So this is my next favorite place. I just found it this morning. I didn't even see it last night. I saw some boring stuff, and now I'm like, wow, this is exciting. This is real work, right? There's no way that that's natural. We're over that now, aren't we? When we see these parallel lines all going the same direction, you're not north south. That's true, but when you back out, you've got big lines, 2, 3, and then when you zoom in, you've got even more. Lots of lines, right? Lots of crazy lines. Go there yourself. Go there yourself. And that's as close as I can get. Now the Satellite's Pro map, it kind of shows a different light. Not as good, but when you zoom in, you get some stuff. Remove and hide user. You gotta love the... I'm gonna remove those. Message deleted. Okay. I have samples. Internal Lichtenberg under the microscope. Internal where? Internal inside what? Okay, is that it? Just that? It's okay. So I guess here, this is the spot right here in the, and it's so hard to see with this filtration that they use. You know, there's another website that takes a picture of Sahara Desert every day, and maybe, but every time I check it, I feel it's really low resolution. I just assumed over here was a river. I see that, and I see these large lines on both sides of that river, and then over here it's like a different world, right? Over here it changes to more of a quarry site. We still have more down here. That's it. I showed you everything. Here I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to Algeria. Okay, this is Algeria. I don't know. I haven't checked the rules. I mean, if I wanted to hike there over the border, I think I could just hike, right? You think someone's going to stop me? But then I have to get to... that's Mali, by the way. I don't know if I can even go to Mali. But Mauritania, there's only Chega up here. And getting up here will be quite a journey. You have to have a lot of fuel. Not sure how that would work out, but getting up here would be hard enough. And then getting over the border without my driver getting angry at me, you know, or reporting me. Yeah, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. So that's it. I think I got everything shown here. There's so many different places. I'll show you the road that was here. Hold on. The road that I found. Yeah, this one right here is what I really am curious about. I think it's more of a wall, not really a road. And I always forget how to get there. I should know how to get there. But I don't want to close the other window. Really? The same look. So look at this area here. This is the same thing. This is where I showed you just now. And I didn't even see that until today. But I have been looking at this whole area and I saw these weird roads that, now if you look at it and you follow it, is it a road or is it a wall or is it a canal? To me it looks like a canal because it's got a gap. But I really don't know what that is. And it seems to go down here and then it stops and turns left. So that's a 90-degree angle, and then it goes this far, and then it turns again. Not quite left, but it's that whole thing where I said it's the curved part. Now, see, here it's just a little curve. But here there's a big curve, flat part, and then big curve. Over here, flat part, and then big curve. And over here we have more curves. It looks like it was a flat part. Oh, look, oh, that's where we were, huh? See? So that flat part goes right into where we were looking just now. Where do you have it? I see your message. I am Kairos. Thank you for your messages. Let's take a look at all the messages I'm getting here, including the ones I had to delete. It's always nice to have a record that's in the video rather than you have to go and search for it. Oh, I see. You're in Sacramento. Okay. So it's the same time for you, 11:15, 11:20 almost. And Coco, I don't know. Can me going there help anything? What if I go there? What am I going to do? Am I going to take some samples? I'm going back to the Richat for some purpose, but I'm finding these all over the Sahara now. Napa Valley, wow, that's amazing. Okay, so you can see electricity running through the polished quartz under a microscope. What type of magnification are you using? If I send you some samples, can you look at them for me and see if there's any spherals in there? Are you a scientist or PhD? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be looking at that. Let me get that out of here. Let's go back to looking at this. Yeah, so we have how many curves? One curve here, kind of a broken curve that goes to where we were looking, some broken line here, a curve here, another big curve. I mean, this thing, if we get in there and follow it around, I wouldn't think that there are some sand berms that are very clearly. See, this is how old this thing is. When you see the breach and the erosion that breaches it, USB, huh? How much does that cost for that microscope? So if we follow this thing around, and I mean, it's just, oh, there's an interesting, that looks like a modern day road. That's a modern day road. And you can see the tractor marks. And a lot of times when you see those berms that are in Western Sahara, you can clearly see the tractor marks. As you can see, this line, whatever it was, it's a curve, right? Whatever it was, it's quite old. It has been eroded multiple times, breached by rivers or rain flood events. And in my opinion, that represents a good 10,000 years. But I'm not that good at that, especially just from a map, right? And then here we have a line that's created by Google Earth, so we can't really depend on it. Look at how beautiful that is. So yeah, and when you see anomalies like that, usually it's because something which was created is underneath. That's why I look at these lines, these so-called mine tailings. I say that's weird because you see a mountain, and usually a mountain just doesn't get weak. So these things, I'm calling them mine tailings because suddenly the whole mountain got breached, and water made it suddenly so weak and collapse. And it's like, what kind of material is this? Yeah, there were some of these mine tailings in Peru as well. That's the thing. That's why I think they're responding to that. So it's $30. I need to get one of those for my trip. Maybe you have a model number. I mean, I'll go check that out. I have to take a look at that. I was hoping to find a nice, high quality scientific one, but all right, let's look at the Google Earth again. Going around. I mean, it's not really a circle. It curves and then it straightens and then it curves again. You've got another ridge or something going over it and intersecting with it here and then going in its own direction, right? You can follow these for miles. I can still see it. And is it a road? Well, sometimes you have to be careful. Sometimes you get caught up following real modern day roads. But in my opinion, that's not a road. What is it? It's some kind of a ridge or wall. Lots of those. And then it keeps going up and you find yourselves with some more. Yeah. Mining everywhere. And is it stupid? Well, it's stupid for me to change my modern day life chasing it, but we want to have answers, right? We want answers. We want to know what was going on here. And I think that the bottom line is there was a lot of mining and they were looking for gold, and the gold was here. Yeah, every time I see a double wide, I call that a canal. Right now we're seeing, let's go out a little bit. See, we're not very far from where we started. We're seeing those curves up here turning into curves as well. And, you know, I have to be honest, I don't go up here much. You have to ask yourself, is that natural or is that artificial right there? And it seems like it separates off and you've got two directions. This line you can still follow for a while. You find yourselves in a lot of different places out here. I mean, it's a lot of land, the desert, the Sahara Desert. So yeah, that's it. And there's the place right there that I was wanting to look at. There's probably more. You know, let's go down here and take a look. And of course, we're finding more already. And it just takes a lot of searching and looking at this. And like I said, when I first started doing this, I thought it was perfectly natural. I mean, these sand dunes are 1,000 feet high, so they've been there for years. But these things go underneath them. And now, is that just a regular river? Or is that something that was created? Well, it's pretty wide, and it looks like a river. It's definitely maybe more modern day river because it seems to be covering up. Well, there you go. Look at that one. Now, which is newer? And we've got this line here creating borders. This looks just like, you know what that looks like? That looks like the ridge that was made in the richat structure to stop the water from coming out. Lots to look at here. I'm not going to talk too much longer. Hi there, everybody. Yeah, I should turn the music back on. So yeah, you've got these ridges, you know, and there's probably some other places to search over here. I've never looked before. I've never looked underneath these sand dunes, and you got to get close or you never find it. You got to get in there or you'll never find this stuff. You know, I just ate, but I'm getting hungry again. Do I have a drink? Yeah, I have a drink. I'll have some coffee. There's an interesting ridge. That looks like a curve. Well, look at that little one. What's that? Oh, just more sand. These are sand dunes. See, people say, oh, those are sand dunes. That's like, well, I don't know, man. Sand dunes are enigmatic. Sand dunes are not all straight. But when you go down to Namibia and you see those straight lines, and they're not really even like dunes. They don't even look like dunes. They look like hills, like a straight hill. I just don't know. Even though the one area kind of says, yeah, I was a sand dune. I mean, it makes sense. So I'm just looking around for now. I'm kind of done. I showed you what I wanted to show you. I think it's crazy. I think it's shocking. It's right down here. You go down past the fish in Mali and go along this ridge and you can find it. And it's right there under the 111. 111 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the weather at that place right now. And that's kind of weird because it's not nighttime. It says current weather, 111 degrees Fahrenheit. But what time is it right now there? It's about 10 hours ahead or maybe 8. So it's 8 p.m. It's just getting dark. You can see in Google Earth when you visit these places and you go down there, it's still light. Okay, it's still light. Where is it dark? We can find out where it's dark in Google Earth. If we go over here, it'll be dark, right? No? Is it still light in the Sahara Desert at 11 o'clock? Where else can we go? Let's go over to Saudi Arabia. Maybe it's not telling me that. It used to tell me, it used to be dark and you would see stars. But oh, is that Google? That might be Google Earth Pro. But I won't worry about it. We can use Google Earth Pro to look for some photographs of these areas. Let's do it. Google Earth Pro. What time was it did we find out the time? Bing Maps. It showed me the temperature. Right there. What was that, Bing Maps, or was it this one? Oh, it's satellites.pro. So it's 111 Fahrenheit right now in Mauritania. We don't have a time. I think if we opened up Google Earth Pro, that will do what I'm talking about. See, when you come into California and then you zoom up like this. Okay, we're seeing stars. See, this is a lie. This is a lie. So never mind. Never mind. I won't even think about that problem. But we can go over there and see if we have any cool photographs of the area. That's one thing that I like with Google Pro. And you can do it in Google Earth on the browser, but it doesn't give... See all these photographs that pop up? But I'm trying to get some photographs of this area. We're probably not going to be so lucky. Right there, no photographs. No photo. And we haven't even looked at this place at Google Earth Pro. Maybe we'll get a photograph. Maybe we'll get lucky. Look at that. It just, you can see it from space. It's not right. It's just not right. Look at all those straight lines when you approach it down here. All those straight lines. You know, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like that's natural anymore. No photo. All right, how many do I got? I got 4 people, 5 thumbs up. I'm getting ready to get out of here. I didn't want to go all day long, but it's something I just found, and I said that's worth going live for. That's worth going live for. And maybe even right over here, there's something else to see. So, you know, take a look at it yourself. I haven't looked here yet. Take a look at it yourself. There you go. That's interesting too, right? That shows a bunch of stuff that looks unnatural. And you've even got a circle over here that's been, on the top of it, has been quarried. And you see these green circles in these, and it's like, where did that come from? Did it come from a little volcano, or was it overburden dumping? It's just weird. Here's more. Hard to see, though. Kind of some weird things over here. What's this? Are those sand dunes? Sand dunes that are all lined up like that. Okay. There's more up here. I've never seen sand dunes that look like this. Yeah, I will stay cool. It's only 100 degrees outside. So, and my car's in the shop, so I can't go anywhere. So, thank you very much, Joe. I am Kairos. Amazing. I guess that says the same thing. Coco. 2 days each digging through the Sahara. It sounds like a lot of money. I didn't see that comment. You know, digging 2-3 days each. First of all, getting the permit. If you're going to get the permit, you want to dig for a month or longer. You don't want to just dig for 3 days. But I don't know if you have to pay for those permits. This is Algeria. So what country are we talking about? Look at this. Look at all that. What's going on over here? So we're seeing the ancient signs. I mean, this is just like the circuit board that I got over at that other mountain for you in the other previous video, the last video. We're seeing this work that's been done on such a grand scale. Definitely. Sorry, I gotta watch my comments. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, I am Kairos, or I'll just say Kairos, since you are Kairos. I think I can just say Kairos. Napa Valley, huh? What kind of wine do you like? I haven't had red wine in a while. What is this thing? We should get the topography map going out here, because that's actually really clear when it comes to stuff like this. Yeah, but getting there and digging, I mean, what's the dig for? I mean, the work has been done on such a grand scale. I don't know what I would be digging for. I mean, maybe some gold. I think what they were doing was refining this material and getting the gold and the silver out, yeah. And they had these settling pits. If you find any of those, I'd like to see them in Africa. This is an anomaly right here. When I see that, you look at that, you're like, what's wrong there? Well, you got to turn it. This is not, where is it? Oh, this is Google Earth Pro. And then it all starts to come up. Could be pyramids. There's so much work done here. I mean, what was going on here? Look at these straight lines. One here, one here, one here. They all match. Here, let's get them lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even know where I am right now. I'm a little bit farther away from the thing I showed you in the thumbnail. That's where I am. That's bizarre, right? And I think this is natural. This looks fine, except for I'm seeing some lines up close. I don't know. You see lines going across there. You can't zoom in very fast in Google Earth Pro. Yeah, you know, a lidar for this whole. Look at this one. Wow. Where are we? We are in Algeria. I found a bunch of roads. One was 300 kilometers long. And you see these things and you're like, were those old ancient roads going to these places? You really have to crank a lot to go in and out. Is that the same curve?